Well, this was an unexpected surprise, and I don't know how many of you were anticipating that I was going to review this, but here it is anyway. Let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Y.E.S, the Young Entertainment Specialists. Today we are doing a review of Ascend. It's a new album released by the Australian EDM mixer artist Pogo. Pogo was born in South Africa, but I think lives and has grown up most of his life in Perth, Australia. And I actually found his music completely by accident. It was one of those YouTube suggestion kind of things. And at first I was a little like, okay, that's a little weird. Like, it's not bad, it's just a little weird. I kept getting his videos recommended to me. And so I thought, okay, the heck with this. I'll check a few others out. And now I listen to his music all the time. I kid you not. And this is just something new to add to my catalog, and I am very happy to bring it to you. Let's talk about it. Now, if you're not familiar with Pogo's style of music, like I said, it is basically kind of an EDM-oriented kind of music. But what Pogo does is he takes sound bites or sound clips or sound samples of anything that he can find, usually from TV or movies, and a lot of the times from animation, primarily Disney, and he either turns them into lyrics or he composes them into sounds that just sound like they were those notes comprised in a whole bunch of different kind of oddballed sounds, as if they were instruments, kind of. And it's really odd to listen to at first, but then because you're familiar with so many of the clips that are used, you kind of gravitate toward it, and you're very puzzled as to why. And then later on, you just don't care because you just think to yourself, this is exceptionally and curiously good. I think he's gotten a lot more exposure recently, especially since I think he's aware of this, but Louder with Crowder, another YouTube channel, uses his music a lot. And I was really shocked about that because I wasn't sure if they got approval, and I don't know, so I'm a little scared about saying it. Why did Garrett have to go on and have to break the silence that we use Pogo's music inside of a channel that gets streamed every day? I don't know if that's going to be a very good impersonation of Gilbert Gottfried, and there's a reason I did that. If you don't know why, go check out Louder with Crowder, and also check out Pogo's channel too, okay? Just do it. Garrett, your voice needs to be more raspy and a little bit more exaggerated. What the flip are you doing? Let's name a few songs just to get a couple of ideas of what his songs sound like. The very first song, Holy Fetch, the very first song on the album, by far my favorite. It is called Soul Sunshine. That's the straight up yes. That is right there. Holy cow. Brilliant. The biggest surprise on this album was the song Big Tree, which samples mostly, if not all, from Home Alone 2. Whoa! Where did that come from? Why did you want to do that one? And why did you want to put this on this album? Are you teasing us for a Christmas album? That would be brilliant, Pogo. I think you should do it. It's really hard to try and boil it down, but I'm going to only mention two more songs. Boy and Bear, which features Winnie the Pooh in Pooh's Grand Adventure, and mostly it's soundbites from him and Christopher Robin. And the song She. I don't really know how to describe the song She. Here's a little sample. and I'll let you judge it and listen to the rest of the album. Just a lot of different sounds worth taking a look at. The only small thing was a little bit unsure of was a couple of creative choices he made. Some of the sound bites I thought were a little odd choices, but it's really hard for me to try and knock off points or take jabs at that because I can't imagine how much time it takes him to go around and find these tiny little bits of just sound. It could be almost literally a millisecond, and it influences the entire song. And he wants to put them exactly in the spot of the song where it will make sense for the key or the chord and even just the sound itself. Because it's kind of like choosing an instrument. You would have to choose where you want to have a saxophone be placed versus having a trumpet sound or a trombone sound or an oboe sound. It's really difficult because it's like he has no limits on what kinds of instrument sounds he wants to have in there, because he literally is trying to take almost the entire televised universe and put it into music. And that's awesome. But it's like those of us who are listening to the music might have a couple of differences, maybe not exactly for not being familiar with where the content comes from, but because those sounds are so distinct and unique from other sounds we might be familiar with, like actual instruments. So it's really hard to try and say, like, I wouldn't have done it this way because I don't know what I would have done in his position. It's so complex, and I'm sure by now he's kind of figured it out because he's been doing this for several years now. But it's got to go somewhere in his mind to say, that sound, no, let's try this sound. Can I get it to be on this note or on this pitch? I think so. And if not, I'll figure something else out. His music should be shared. It's amazing. All these projects he can create, they're fantastic. And here are the ratings for Ascend. Production, 98%. Creativity, 96%. Expression and lyrics, 98%, and the overall vibe of the album gets a yeah. Overall, I bought this album, love it, I recommend it. If this video gets a lot of attention, I will review more of his albums. I probably will later on anyway, but if the demand calls for it, I will review more because I love this music. It has a soft spot for the child inside me because of all the sound bites from movies and people and TV shows that I grew up with. It's something just that's cherishable and wonderful. As cheesy as that sounds, that's what I feel about it. As always, thank you so much for watching, guys. And remember, click right here to discover, promote, and review the best in entertainment that'll make you say yes.
We like using Pogo's music. Of course it sounds good and allows us to be silly in our views and the things that we share.